Ever wondered if the ripples of past actions truly echo through our present lives, shaping our future, or even reaching beyond?
It's a huge question, one that people have grappled with forever, really.
Absolutely. And today we're doing a deep dive into, a truly unique case study. It brings the whole idea of karma into focus in a very vivid and honestly, sometimes quite moving way.
Hmm.
Our source material isn't some dry text. It's actually an excerpt from an audio recording. It's a listener's really personal family story.
Which makes it so compelling, doesn't it? Real lived experience.
Exactly. So our mission here is to explore this rich story, look the cause and effect, how choices mix with destiny, and, what happens when someone is just not ready to die.
That phrase itself is powerful.
It is. So get ready, because I think we're going to uncover some pretty surprising insights into karma, family stuff, and maybe even the afterlife.
This family story gives us such a detailed window into these complex ideas. It takes it out of the realm of
Yeah.
just, philosophy.
Right, brings it down to earth. Or maybe not entirely earth, as we'll see.
Precisely. It shows the ripple effects across generations. A really potent example of cause and effect.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, let's start with the father in this story. He sounds like quite a figure.
Mm.
Educated, he'd been a monk at one point.
And a teacher, village head, too.
Right, so respected. But there's this contrast, isn't there? He married the mother, who is a landowning farmer. Different worlds.
It's very different backgrounds. And that apparently led to some, let's say, quiet dissatisfaction for him sometimes.
Yeah, the story mentions that. But they built a life, 7 kids. Our listener is the 4th.
Okay.
Now, here's where it gets really specific. The father had terrible asthma. Really bad, especially when the weather was harsh.
A chronic condition, then.
Definitely. And he had his habits, regular drinking, smoking. Not a womanizer, the source says, but those other habits were pretty set.
Okay, established patterns.
And then there's this detail from his childhood. It's pretty grim, actually. As a boy, he apparently tortured a chicken, buried it, poured water in its mouth until it died.
Wow. That's intense. And you mentioned we'd come back to that.
We will. It seems significant later on. But despite his own struggles, he was incredibly proud of his eldest son. Became a famous movie star.
Oh, interesting. Highs and lows in the family.
Yeah, definitely. But then sorrow, too. His eldest daughter got married and left home. Then another daughter, the listener's sister, started seeing someone. And this sadness, this worry apparently made his asthma much, much worse.
So a direct link between his emotional state and his physical health worsening.
Exactly. Led to him being hospitalized, put on oxygen.
Okay.
And his final moments, they're just tragic. He was in the hospital. Mother was there. He suddenly started struggling to breathe. The oxygen tube had come off.
Oh, no.
He tried to signal her, but she didn't understand how to fix it. Couldn't reattach the tube.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Helplessness on both sides.
Totally. And his last look at her was apparently furious. Eyes turned green with anger, the description says. Then he passed. He was only 52.
52? Wow.
Yeah, and apparently a fortune teller had told him he'd live past 70, so a real shock.
That final image, the anger, the green eyes, it's incredibly vivid. And it really sets the stage for understanding his state of mind, doesn't it?
It really does.
And what strikes me is that conflict you mentioned, the intellectual, the former monk, versus the drinking, the smoking, the deep anger.
Yeah, it's quite a mix.
And the way his daughter's choices directly impacted his health. That's a stark reminder of how our mental states can create these energetic vulnerabilities almost, weakening the body.
It really drove that home for me, too.
And the fortune teller piece.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how we cling to those predictions, isn't it? We make plans based on them.
Right, like it's set in stone.
Exactly. But we often forget about the power of our own choices, our own karma, which, as this story shows, can absolutely change the trajectory.
For sure. And the story, well, it gets even stranger after his death.
Okay, I'm listening.
So they're having the funeral preparations at a temple nearby. Standard stuff. But 7 days after he died, during the wake, things take a turn.
7 days. Okay.
A friend of the third brother, Sayan, just suddenly stands up, starts dancing, shouting, acting really erratically.
Huh. Maybe he had too much to drink at the wake.
That's what people thought. Some friends even playfully kicked him, like, hey, settle down. But the second they touched him,
What happened?
his whole demeanor shifted. He started wheezing, just like the father did. That specific asthmatic wheeze.
Whoa. Okay, that's chilling.
And then he shouts furiously, "Don't you know who I am? I am Sayan's father."
Wow. So possession.
It seems like it. The father, speaking through this friend, just poured out all this sorrow and anger, especially about the kids not listening, the daughters. He was weeping, saying he died too young, 52 instead of 70 like he was told.
Expressing all that pent-up emotion.
Exactly. The family was, as you can imagine, completely stunned. They tried talking to him, calming him down, saying, promised him, Dad, I'll take care of everyone.
A direct communication, then.
Yes. Eventually, they called the abbot of the temple. He came, sprinkled holy water, and poof, the spirit left the friend's body.
And the friend. Did he remember anything?
He did. When he came to, he described seeing this scruffy man, shirtless, wearing green silk pants and a krama, that traditional waistcloth, said the man embraced him. And that outfit, exactly what the father was wearing when he died in the hospital.
Goodness.
Yeah.
The level of detail is incredible. It really lends weight to the account.
It really does.
And this whole event, bizarre as it sounds, really speaks to that state of being not ready to die. His attachment, his unresolved anger and sorrow kept him tethered, lingering.
So he couldn't move on.
Not immediately. He was desperate to communicate. And interestingly, the source mentions how he managed it. Apparently, a Brahmadeva at the temple.
Well, what now?
A Brahmadeva, sort of a celestial being from a specific lineage called Vidyatara, known for wisdom. This being apparently advised the father spirit.
Advised him how?
Told him how to communicate. Find someone with a, quote, weak mind or focus. Become still, and then embrace them. Essentially possess them briefly.
And Cyan's friend fit the bill at that moment.
Apparently so. The father's aim wasn't malicious, it seems, just desperate worry, wanting to talk to his kids.
But why was it temporary? Why did he leave?
His own spiritual power was limited, and the source mentions the influence of Buddha's power. Perhaps from the holy water or the temple's sanctity, combined with his own weak state, made him release the body.
Wow. It just shows these incredibly powerful connections, even after death.
It really does. The lengths a spirit might go to, driven by attachment and worry.
Okay, so if the mind and spirit have this much impact, let's talk karma. The family obviously had questions after all this, especially our listener. Like, first off, was the mother considered sinful for the oxygen tube incident?
That's a really important question, isn't it, given his last moments?
Yeah. But the explanation given is, no, she wasn't sinful. It was unintentional. She didn't know what to do. And besides, he was already so prone to anger. So no negative karma there for her.
Okay, that clarifies a key point. What about his asthma then? And the wheezing even after death?
Right. This is where the karma gets really detailed. It's layered. In this life, that act of torturing the chicken as a boy,
The drowning incident, yes.
that was a direct seed. But it goes back further, past lives. He was apparently born in farming societies where he overworked animals, forced them to work until they were wheezing, suffering.
So a direct parallel. Cause and effect.
Exactly. And even more specifically, as a teenager in one past life, he used to do cruel things for fun, tying ropes around dogs' necks, watching them struggle, throwing cats into muddy water to watch them panic, supposedly to teach them to swim.
Not just causing harm, but finding enjoyment in their suffering. That's often seen as amplifying the negative karma.
That's what the explanation suggests. And the wheezing during the possession, it's described as residual karmic traces, like a hangover of his earthly suffering and habits, because he wasn't ready to let go of being human.
Results aren't fully exhausted yet. It makes sense. It shows how deeply ingrained these patterns are, persisting even beyond the physical body for a time.
It really paints a picture of karma not being just one thing, but this complex tapestry.
Absolutely. Present life actions, past life actions, intentions, habits, all weaving together. The chicken, the overworked animals, the cruelty, it all culminated in the asthma.
So what happened to him after the possession incident? Where did his spirit go then?
According to the source, after leaving the friend's body, his journey continued. He was judged in Yamaloka.
Yama's realm? Like a purgatory?
Sort of, yes. By Yama's officers. They weighed everything up the good karma, like his time as a monk, making merit.
Okay, that counted for something.
Definitely. Against the bad karma, the drinking, smoking, the anger, killing animals for food. His monkhood was actually crucial. It apparently saved him from a much worse fate, a place called Mahan Narak, a great hell of intense suffering.
So he dodged the worst of it, but where did he end up?
His current role is described as being a Kumhanda. It's a type of officer or being in that realm.
Doing what?
His job is, it's specific, pouring molten copper into the mouths of beings in the hell associated with alcohol abuse.
Wow, that's graphic. And karmically fitting, I suppose.
a direct consequence. He works 9 months, gets 3 months rest, apparently. And because of these duties, he has no time or, frankly, inclination to worry about his family now.
So the merit they make for him,
Give on.
it helps.
It lightens his burden, eases his suffering somewhat,
Hmm.
but it hasn't changed his fundamental role as an officer there. The advice is for the family to keep making merit for him often.
Okay, and what about the funeral chanting? They did 5 days, but someone asked about 7 days. Would that have changed things?
That's a good question. Generally, yes, 7 days of Abhidhamma chanting generates more merit.
Yeah.
But in his case, his ajina karma, his habitual karma, specifically the drinking, was so strong, so deeply ingrained.
Ah, the power of habit again.
Exactly. It was so powerful that even the extra 2 days of chanting wouldn't have fundamentally altered his destination. It might have helped slightly, but his path was largely set by those deep habits.
Which also explains the fortune teller being wrong.
Precisely. Fortune tellers often work with probabilities, patterns, general life paths. They don't necessarily see the depth of someone's ajina karma. And a strong negative habit like that can act like an open channel, allowing other negative karma to ripen early and cut life short, overriding the predicted lifespan.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it? How much our choices and habits shape things, even beyond what we can see or predict.
A very stark reminder. Destiny isn't just written in the stars. It's actively written by our actions and intentions, moment by moment.
Okay, that's a lot about the father, but the story also touches on the children's karma, showing how these threads run through the whole family.
Yes, the interconnectedness is key.
Let's start with the eldest son, the movie star. He rose high, but then fell. Why?
His story goes back to a past life as an actor. He made merit then, but inconsistently.
How so?
Like only when it felt easy or when he was already doing well. And crucially, his prayers when making merit were always focused on achieving fame.
Ah, so the intention was specific and maybe a bit self-serving.
Exactly. That specific prayer for fame led to the rise in this life, but because the merit-making wasn't consistent or perhaps purely motivated, the success wasn't stable, hence the eventual decline. It highlights the need for steady, sincere merit-making.
Makes sense. Then there's the daughter with the intellectual disability. Such a sad situation. Born with it at 26, living in a home now.
Yes, a very poignant part of the story. Her karma is traced back to a past life where she was a severe, persistent alcoholic.
So the disability is a result of that.
It's described as residual karma, like an echo or remaining consequence after potentially spending a very long time suffering in lower realms due to that heavy alcohol karma.
That's incredibly difficult to hear.
It is. And there's another layer here, connecting directly to our listener, the narrator of the original story.
How so?
In a past life, the narrator sold alcohol.
Whoa!
Yeah. And that action, selling alcohol, created a karmic link. It tends to attract beings with alcohol-related karma into her sphere.
So having to care for her daughter, who has this specific karma,
Is, in part, a result of her own past actions. And the source notes she often feels unhappy doing it, which is part of the karmic consequence playing out.
goodness. So what's the solution for the daughter then?
The advice is for the narrator, the mother in this life, to make merit frequently, specifically for the daughter. Include her name in all the dedications. Pray sincerely for her release from this karma. It needs consistent effort because the root karma is deep.
And for the narrator herself, our listener.
She has her own karma to work on too, remember.
Yeah.
The past life where she was part of a community but was irritable, self-centered.
Right, leaving when she got upset.
Exactly. That pattern led to her joining the community late in this life. So the advice for her is to actively work on overcoming those traits, the irritability, the self-centeredness, to dedicate herself fully to making merit with a pure heart, and to aspire to stay with her spiritual community through future lives, breaking that pattern of leaving.
It really shows how interconnected it all is. Personal challenges reflecting shared pasts, family patterns.
Precisely. It's not just individual threads, it's a whole tapestry. And understanding these connections offers a path toward healing and changing those patterns, both for oneself and for the family.
We've really covered a lot today, journeyed through this incredibly powerful, complex story. A father's life, his death, that shocking return.
The post-mortem encounter, yeah.
And then digging into all these karmic threads binding the whole family across lifetimes. It really asks us to look at things differently, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It challenges us to think beyond the surface level.
So, for everyone listening, what does this all mean for you? I think this deep dive really prompts some personal reflection. How do our choices, even small ones, send out ripples?
Ripples that shape our present, our future, maybe even the lives of people around us in ways we don't always realize.
It's a potent reminder, I think, about the weight of our actions, our intentions, every single day.
And just to echo that, understanding karma isn't about judging ourselves or others. It's really about seeing the cause and effect clearly.
Right. So we can make more conscious choices.
Exactly. It empowers us. It gives us a framework for understanding why things happen and inspires us to cultivate, kindness, mindfulness, positive intentions.
It makes me think. Maybe the most important prediction isn't about how long we'll live, like that fortune teller said.
Go on in.
Maybe it's about how consciously, how kindly we choose to live each day we do have, knowing those choices are actually weaving our future.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Very true. The quality of living shaped by conscious action.
So a final thought to leave you all with.
What lesson, perhaps unpacked from this incredible story today, might shift how you look at your own daily choices, your reactions? Maybe inspire a slightly different way forward, something to ponder.